Picture this. You're pulling into a parking lot in 1973, and you need 2 spaces just to fit your car. Not because you're a bad driver, because your car is over 19.5 feet long. Welcome to the era of land yachts, when American automakers built cars so massive they needed their own zip codes. From the 1960s through the early 1980s, Detroit was in an arms race to build the longest, most excessive vehicles the world had ever seen. These weren't just transportation. They were rolling living rooms with engines so lazy they barely broke a sweat. Chrome everywhere, vinyl roofs, whitewall tires, and interiors so plush you'd take your shoes off to drive. Size mattered back then. Your neighbor got a 220-inch Chrysler. You'd better get yourself a 225-inch Buick. It was automotive peacocking, and we loved every ridiculous inch of it. If you love classic American iron and automotive history, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss our deep dives into classic car history. All right, let's count down 15 of the most massive classic American cars ever built. From number 15 all the way to the absolute longest production car ever made in America. Starting at number 15, the 1975 Dodge Charger SE at 216 inches long. When you hear Dodge Charger, you probably think tire smoke and screaming engines. But by 1975, the Charger had traded its muscle car soul for a suit and tie. This wasn't the Charger that dominated drag strips. This was a personal luxury coupe with 24-ounce shag pile carpeting so thick you'd want to drive barefoot. That square, formal styling made it tough for NASCAR teams to work with. Only 31,000 people bought one in '75. The muscle car era was dying, strangled by insurance costs and fuel crises. The Charger was trying to survive by becoming something it wasn't. Some say this was the worst Charger ever made. What do you think? Number 14 is the 1970 Ford LTD at 216.1 inches long. Here's a success story. Between 1969 and 1978, Ford and Mercury sold 7.75 million of these land barges. The 70 model featured styling borrowed from the Thunderbird, including hidden headlights. Engine choices ranged from the 302 cubic-inch V8 to the massive 429 that could pull a house off its foundation. This was the car that took families on cross-country, vacations with dad behind the wheel, mom with the map, and kids fighting in the back seat. The LTD was America on 4 wheels. Drop a comment below if you remember riding in one of these as a kid. At number 13, the 1971 Buick Riviera at 217 inches with the famous boat tail rear end. That dramatic styling was just too much for most folks, and buyers didn't bite. Plus, the cabin's full-flow ventilation system had a nasty habit of sucking in exhaust fumes and rainwater. Not exactly a selling point, but the Riviera came standard with max-track traction control for its 455 engine. In 1971, that was seriously advanced technology, making it ahead of its time in some ways, but too far out there in others. Number 12 brings us across the 220-inch threshold with the 1969 Dodge Polara at 220.8 inches. Now we're getting into serious yacht territory. This was where Dodge's fuselage design shined. Smooth, flowing lines from front to back. 5 body styles, hidden windshield wipers, and carpet so plush you'd drive barefoot. The Polara was part beauty, part luxury, part performance. The complete package for families who wanted to arrive in style. At number 11, the 1973 Chevrolet Impala Custom Coupe at 221.9 inches. Chevrolet's pitch was, building a better way to see America. And they weren't wrong. Inside you got vinyl and wood grain, the classic 70s combo. A 350 cubic-inch V8 with 145 horsepower came standard. Yeah, that doesn't sound like much, but this was the emissions-strangled 70s. These engines were built for cruising, Not racing, the Impala was the everyman's car, affordable, reliable, and big enough to haul the whole family plus luggage for a month. Why were American cars so big in the 1970s? Drop your theory in the comments! Number 10 is the 1976 Cadillac Eldorado Convertible at 224 inches and 5,153 pounds. Cadillac claimed this was the last American convertible ever. Spoiler, it wasn't automatic climate control, 6-way adjustable leather seats, and enough luxury to make a Rolls-Royce owner jealous. Under that hood sat a 500 cubic inch V8, making just 235 horsepower, thanks to emissions equipment. But who cares about numbers? This wasn't about speed. This was about arriving. If you're enjoying this countdown, hit that like button and let us know your favorite land yacht so far. At number 9, the 1976 Ford Thunderbird at 225.7 inches. Picture washing this beast on Saturday morning. Front bumper chrome, grille, headlight surrounds, wing mirrors, then that massive rear bumper. You're going to be there all day, brother. The 76 T-Bird was chrome heaven, pushing the weight over 5,000 pounds. An 8-track player cost $382, and that lipstick color scheme added $546 to the $7,790 base price. But man, did you look good cruising down Main Street. Number 8 is the 1970 Buick Electra 225 at exactly 225 inches. When you're so proud of your car's length, you put it in the name. You know you're living in the land yacht era. But here's what made the 1970 special. That 455 V8 pumped out 370 horsepower. This wasn't just a soft cruiser, it could move. The Electra 225 was one of the raciest yachts on the water, capable of surprising muscle cars at stoplights. Size and power. That's what the early 70s were all about. At number 7, the 1972 Lincoln Continental Mark IV at 228 inches. This was the pinnacle of personal luxury coupes. This wasn't a family car. This was your car. Lincoln offered special editions by Bill Blass, Gucci, Givenchy, and Cartier. Each came with custom colors and a gold-plated dashboard plaque engraved with your name. It was about exclusivity, about having something nobody else had. And in the personal luxury game, that's what mattered. Here's the big debate. Lincoln Mark IV or Cadillac Eldorado? Which was the better luxury yacht? Comment your pick below. Number 6 is the 1970 Imperial Crown at 229.7 inches. From 1955 to 1975, Chrysler made Imperial a standalone brand to fight Cadillac and Lincoln. Life was tough for Imperial. Being based on Chrysler platforms put it at a disadvantage, so Imperial competed on features. A standard 440 V8 with 350 horsepower and bench seating described as like a plush sofa. The Imperial was the underdog in the luxury fight, but it never gave up. At number 5, we cross into super yacht territory with the 1975 Cadillac Coupe DeVille at 230.7 inches. This was self-indulgence on wheels, and Cadillac made no apologies. Leather or velour interior, massive vinyl roof, cornering lights, optional airbags and traction control, whitewall tires. This had it all. The 500 cubic inch V8 made about 190 horsepower, but power wasn't the point. This was about smooth, effortless cruising. The DeVille wasn't trying to be subtle. It was announcing you'd arrived. Number 4 is the 1978 Chrysler New Yorker Brougham at 231 inches. By 1978, disco was in full swing, and this would be the final year for the C-body platform. A 400 cubic inch V8 came standard, 360 in California. The options list included an AM/FM stereo with a foot switch search function and even a factory CB radio. Breaker breaker. This is the New Yorker. Come back. Yeah, that was actually a thing. What was the longest car ever made in America? Stick around. We're We're about to reveal it. At number 3, the 1974 Oldsmobile 98 LS at 232.4 inches. Oldsmobile was the oldest surviving American brand, and the 70s were their glory days. That record length came from federally mandated 5-mouth bumpers. But what made the 98 special was the 455 V8 called Rocket. Any car with an engine named Rocket gets serious credibility in my book. The Rocket 455 made 230 horsepower, but 375 lb-ft of torque. That's what moved this 4,500-pound yacht with authority. Number 2 is the 1979 Lincoln Continental Town Car at 233 inches. Just when you thought these cars couldn't get any longer, Lincoln added 5 more inches. The Collector Series offered a crystal-like hood ornament, acres of padded vinyl, and an interior like a luxury hotel lobby. This was the final year before downsizing forced even Lincoln to shrink. The 79 Town Car was the last hurrah, the final celebration before the party ended. If you love classic car content like this, subscribe for more. Here we are. Number 1. The absolute king of land yachts. The 1973 Imperial LeBaron at a staggering 235.3 inches long. That's over 19.5 feet of American steel, chrome, and luxury. Those federally mandated bumpers added 5.8 inches to an already imposing design, pushing it into the record books as the longest production car ever built in America. This was it. This was as massive as American cars would ever get. The LeBaron represented the absolute peak of the bigger is better philosophy that dominated Detroit for decades. Standing next to one today is like standing next to a monument to a different era, when America believed bigger was always better, when chrome was king, and when the open road was calling. So there you have it, 15 of the most massive classic American cars ever built. These land yachts ruled our highways, filled our driveways, and carried our families across this great country. They were impractical, excessive, and guzzled gas like it was going out of style. And you know what? We loved every inch of them. These monsters represented a time when bigger was always better, when chrome was king, and when the open road meant freedom. They're gone now, replaced by sensible sedans and efficient crossovers. But for those of us who remember, they'll always hold a special place. Which one was your favorite? Drop a comment below and let us know. And here's the ultimate question. Would you daily drive one of these beasts today? Or are they better left as memories? Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into automotive history. Thanks for riding with us today. Until next time, keep the chrome shining and the memories alive.